Hello and welcome to r/choosingbeggars, the show where I bring to you some of the choosiest beggars that ever lived, courtesy of Reddit. So first up, we have this story entitled, "You sold your guitar? I'm going to sue you." Quick bit of background. I'd been looking for a new guitar for ages and had my heart set on a Telecaster. I found the absolute perfect one in a local store, but I decided to wait a few days before buying it. It was going to cost me around $2,000 and I didn't want to make an impulse buy. A couple of days passed, I went back to the store to buy it and it had been sold. I was devastated. A few weeks later, I got an opportunity to buy a nearly new Stratocaster. Even though it wasn't exactly what I wanted, it was a great guitar and a really good price. My friend had brought it for $1,600, played it for a week, realised he didn't like it, had lost the receipt and couldn't return it to the store, so he offered it to me for $1,200. Sold. My girlfriend was super peed off when I bought it. At the time, I thought she was mad because I was being irresponsible with my money, but Christmas rolled around and I found out why she was so angry. She had bought the Telecaster that I really wanted and gave it to me for Christmas. Once the holidays were over, I put the Stratocaster up for sale. This was the very first reply that I got on my ad. "Hey, guitar still available?" "Yep, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you." "Yeah, is the price firm?" "Pretty much. This is already the cheapest American standard being advertised here, and none of the others in this price range have locking tuners. Having said that, if you're a serious buyer, I might have a little wiggle room. What did you have in mind?" And the choosing beggar has the audacity to respond with, "Can I have 400 cash?" "I'm asking 1,200. "Yeah, and I'm offering 400. Take it or leave it." "No, sorry, 1,200 is a really fair price. That's for the guitar, hard case and all the case candy, plus free shipping within Canada. I can't knock $800 off. By a little wiggle room, I was thinking maybe I could let it go for 1,100 or something. Also, if your display location is correct, we're about 2,000 kilometers apart. Unless you're willing to drive 20 plus hours to get here, we can't do a cash deal. Any sale would have to be done via PayPal." "Screw PayPal, stupid crooks. I've only got 500 and I would have to get it set up and buy new strings, so I can only offer 400. Why the hell would I want candy? Are you for real? Just sell me the guitar. If I want candy, I'll go to the store." Not candy, lol. Case candy. It's an expression used to describe all of the goodies that the manufacturers throw in the case when you buy a new guitar. In this case, it means the trem arm, the user manual, the warranty, a fender sticker, the hang tags, etc. Also, I had the guitar professionally set up before posting it for sale and it has brand new strings on it, Ernie Ball 10s. So you don't need to worry about any other added expenses. "Whatever, it's for my son. 1,100 is still too much for a kid's guitar. 425 cash." An American Standard really isn't a kid's guitar. If your budget is in the $400 to $500 range, you could check out the Squier Strats. Classic Vibe and vintage modified models are really, really good guitars, and I think go for around $500 new, so you could probably find a nice used one for 400, maybe even less. "Hey, stupid, if I wanted a Squier, I'd look for a Squier. My son wants a Fender, not an effing Squier." "Okay, well this Fender's selling for 1,200, not 425. "If you're selling it, you don't need it. 450, final offer." "No, sorry. 475, final offer." "Sorry, I can't sell it for anywhere near that price." And this is where I realise that it's not just a choosing beggar in this story. It's also a debut from an entitled parent. "It's for my son. Why are you being so greedy? I'm going to buy your guitar, but you have to deal." Offering 425 for a 1,200 guitar isn't within the realm of dealing. "Can't you just give me a break? It's for my son. He really wants this guitar." And to be honest, calling me stupid, seriously, stop using that word, it isn't cool. And swearing at me when I was only trying to be helpful doesn't make me want to deal with you. A break, maybe, but 725 break? Not a chance, you're wasting my time. "Oh, screw you. You're a SWJ guitar player? I thought only men played guitars." I think you mean SJW, and guitars are played by everyone. Annie Clark is one of the best guitar players in the world. In any event, clearly isn't going anywhere. Good luck in your search. And he responds with, "Never heard of her. I wonder if Why, if she's so great? 500, take it or leave it. I'll leave it. I ended up selling the guitar the same day that I posted the ad. Even though I'd taken the ad down, I kept getting replies for the next few days. I didn't pay too much attention to them or who they were from, I just gave the same stock. Sorry, it's been sold, to the 10 or so messages that came my way. Then this one popped up on my phone. Guitar still available? No, sorry, it sold a couple of days ago. I pulled the ad after the sale, but apparently if it's in your cache, it will still show up on the website if you search for it. How much did it go for? 1,200. I'm going to sue you. Huh? We had a contract. What are you talking about? Are you sure you're talking to the right person? Yes, stupid, I'm sure. We had a contract and you broke it. I don't know what you're talking about and really think you have me confused for someone else. I was selling the red Strat American Standard. I know, stupid. Boy, are you stupid. What contract are you talking about? I said that I was going to buy your guitar. That's a verbal contract, and you sold it to someone else which broke the contract, and now I'm going to sue you. Laugh now, stupid, because the judge is going to make you cry. You broke the law, and now you're going to pay. Honest question, are you okay? You're not really making any sense. Go get me that guitar and sell it to me for 500 like we agreed, or I'll sue you. Hurry up, stupid. The guitar's been sold. We didn't have a contract, and you have no grounds for a lawsuit. No, I said I was going to buy your guitar. That's a verbal contract. You owe me that guitar. Also, it was for my son. You knew that. When he didn't get it after I promised him, he cried. That's emotional distress damages that you'll have to pay for that too. Big bucks. I'm sorry that your son is upset, but you shouldn't have promised him the guitar if you weren't willing to pay for it. Once again, though, we didn't have a contract, and it's not my fault that you disappointed your son. I suspect he's used to that, though. Now that's slander. Keep digging the hole, stupid. You're hilarious. But unfortunately, I don't have any more time to waste on you. Have a nice day. Give me your name and address so my lawyer can contact you and sue you. No. That's obstruction of justice. Keep digging. Butthole. And all he has to say is, have a nice day. I mean, let's be real. You know, verbal contract? You know, the guy, it's not like the guy said, yeah, sure, I'll sell you my guitar for $500 and then sold it to somebody else. In that case, then yeah, he would have a bit of, like, you know, a leg to stand on because the messages would be proof enough, I guess, in court for a judge to be all like, oh yes, well, you agreed to sell this man your guitar and you didn't, and emotional distress, blah, blah, blah. But considering all the way through those messages, the seller was saying, like, no, I can't afford to let it go for that much. I'm sorry, but you'll have to find someone else to buy from. That doesn't constitute any kind of verbal contract. And that choosing beggar / entitled parent learnt the hard way. Anyway, let's move along. Next! So this one's titled, Thought I'd do something nice for someone I used to go to high school with. I know how tough it can be going through college without a laptop. My mistake, I guess. Hey, long time no speak. Hi, yeah, it's been a while. I hope you've been doing well. I saw your post about needing a laptop for classes. I have an old one you could use if you want. Oh, really? Thank you so much. What kind is it? It's an Acer. It has Windows 8 on it and only a few years old. I recently bought a new Mac, so I don't need it anymore. Oh, thanks, but I actually need a Mac since I'm in art school and all. Art school, that's cool. You were always really creative. I do have an older 2011-2012 MacBook Pro that you could have. It just has a small hairline crack on the screen, but it's barely noticeable. Otherwise, the screen is perfect. I could meet you at the mall if you'd like to grab it from me sometime. Thanks, but I can't use a cracked laptop. Could you help me buy a new one, or let me use yours for a few semesters? Sorry, I actually need that for software development, so I unfortunately can't just give it away. The older Mac isn't really cracked. Like I said, it has a small hairline fracture that's barely noticeable. But again, if you really need a laptop, I'd be glad to give you the Acer or the older Mac. Well, I guess if you're going to be like that, I could just take the older two and sell them to be able to buy a new one. When could you meet? I'm sorry, I didn't give you permission to sell my laptops. You can use them for your studies if you want and return them after. And I guess the choosing beggar, blocked them. So they can't respond. But I mean, man, wow, really? Like, somebody's offering to lend you a choice of 2 laptops, not just a case of I have a laptop you can borrow, but I have 2 laptops. I would be willing to lend you either one of these laptops, you know. I have an Acer. Oh, okay, you want a Mac? Fine, I have a Mac. Since when is it okay for somebody to even conceive the idea of borrowing computers or anything off of anyone and selling them so they can get a better item? Like, seriously, because, that would be one ridiculous situation. Hey, let me just lend you my computers. Or let me lend you my laptop, you know. And, hey, you know, when I ask them back, oh, sorry, dude, I don't have them anymore. I've sold them. And this laptop's mine, so you can't have this one. That's exactly where that would have gone. Let's be real. You know, in fact, if the OP had given this person the 2 laptops, and that choosing beggar had sold them to buy a new laptop, you could almost guarantee the words that would have left that choosing beggar's mouth afterwards would have been, but it's my laptop, I paid for it, you're not having it back. And that person would have lost out on 2 laptops. Not to mention, if that person hadn't backed up a lot of their stuff, they would lose important documents. Although, I would hope, if you're going to lend anybody anything like that, that you would actually back up your stuff. Because who knows what will happen if you don't. I mean, let's be real. You know, never lend an electronic with stuff on it unless you've backed it up, because not only is there the chance that the person borrowing the laptop could end up having an issue with it and then need to have it reset, which would lose all of your important information, or, God forbid, somebody borrows it and it gets stolen from them. You know, you never get that information back, so always back up your stuff. And don't be a nasty choosing beggar like that person, because that's just out of order. So next up, we have choosing beggar demands local Facebook group deliver him vinegar. Goes angrily to local newspaper when they don't. Okay, I've read this one and it made me laugh so hard, so let's just get straight into it, shall we? From the Gloucestershire Live webpage, Gloucester man who called on the internet to get him vinegar for his chips by 8 p.m. is left fuming. It has destroyed his faith in the community spirit of Kingsway. I mean, because one Gloucester man said he found himself in a bit of a spot of bother on 7:32 p.m. on a Monday. He was at home, put an urgent call out on Facebook community page, spotted, Quedgley, Kingsway and Hardwick. Sorry if I mispronounced Quedgley, I'm not 100% sure how that's said, and I'm British, so... One of the best and most helpful pages around. His message was simple. Anyone got any vinegar they could pop round? Gotta be quick though, want my dinner by 8, thanks. The post reached more than 2,000 people, but only 2 replies, neither of which were helpful to him. One said Tesco's open till 11, another suggested a chippy in Cirencester. Oh God, don't even. That down. 2 hours later, he returned to the page to blast the lack of community spirit. He said, not only did I not get anyone to get off their bone-idle butts to deliver me some vinegar, I had to have cold chips. I waited that long. I hate Kingsway. I mean, wow. Just, wow. I mean, calling on a Facebook group to bring you vinegar and then having the audacity to call everyone bone idle because nobody wanted to come and give you vinegar when you could have got up off your butt yourself and gone to the shop yourself and bought your own vinegar. I mean, let's be real. You know, the internet's good for some things, but begging people for vinegar for your chips when you could just go to the shop, not exactly life or death, mate. I don't know why you were getting so upset, but hey, you know, everyone's got to have something to be all cranky about, haven't they? Next! This one's titled, Choosing Beggar follows me into Whole Foods and tries to get me to buy his food. This one's a relatively short one, so let's read, shall we? I'm going to keep this short. I live close to a Whole Foods, so I can take a literal 2-minute walk to get groceries. I walk in and some choosing beggar follows me in. I don't think much of it at the time and go about the shopping. By the time I'm at checkout, the guy has followed me around the entire store and copied what I have in my cart with his +4 bottles of wine. he gets in line behind me, and when I'm checking out, he addresses the cashier and says, "He's paying for me." At this point, I tell the cashier I don't even know him and that he's followed me into the store. He tries to play it off by faking that we're friends. I ask him what my name is and he flakes, asking other people in line to buy his food for him. Eventually, a cop walks in and sees what he's doing and asks him to leave. Not very interesting, but it's my choosing beggar story. I mean, wow. Following somebody around a grocery store, picking up everything that they've picked up, adding in a few extras, and then acting like you're with them to get your stuff paid for you? No. That probably wouldn't have flown so well over here. You know, British people and their whole, you know... I guess it depends, actually, where you come from, but I wouldn't imagine that would go down well in a shop. I mean, let's be real, that's pretty tame. The guy basically said no, but, you know, some people can be quite dangerous, and, well, that choosing beggar was chancing. Really chancing. I mean, not only could the choosing beggar have turned out to be a violent person, the OP himself could have turned, or herself could have turned out to have been a violent person. You never know. I mean, it boggles my mind. Boggles my mind why you'd think it would be okay to walk up behind somebody in a grocery store, any shop, have a basket full of goods, and then expect that person to pay, like, ooh, someone is trying their luck. So let's go on to the next story. And this one's titled, Guess not giving away free books makes me a jerk. Hey, I saw you're selling a biology book on Facebook. Can you let me have it? Well, yes, I'm selling it. I didn't buy it for quite the price, so I'd like to be able to make some sort of return on it. It's not brand new, but I can't sell it for like $50 instead. But I can sell it for $50 instead of $100. I don't really want it for $50, especially if it isn't new. I'd like a new one. Well, you can always use the ebook hit for it. I'm sure whatever bio class you're in also says the same thing and has the ebook. What? I haven't talked to you in forever and you won't even give me a work down biology book you don't need? You're always a jerk anyway. Look, I offered it for half of my asking price. Just download the free ebook. I haven't heard from you either and don't like being called a jerk. Whatever. F off. Like, I mean, I understand textbooks are very expensive. Like, I have plenty of friends who have gone on to do like major courses in university, and they've complained about the cost of textbooks. Like, oh, why are these textbooks so expensive? Especially considering in some cases you'll buy these textbooks and won't even use half of them. That's got to be the irritating part. Having spent hundreds of dollars or pounds on textbooks to find that you make it through the entire year without even cracking one of them. And then when you start your second year, you've got a whole new list of books that you have to buy. You can guarantee you're not going to use all of them either. So of course, at the end of your like year, any books you don't require, once you've, or not even at the end of the year, at the end of your course, however long that may be, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, you know, or whenever it is that you don't need the books anymore and you're trying to sell them on and you've got jerks like this trying to pull the whole, you could just give me the book for free. Like, no, I paid a lot of money for these books. Why should I give them to you for free? You know, and the OP even offered them, you know, go and download the ebook. It's free. You know, they wouldn't have to pay, and they also wouldn't have to lug a textbook around. I mean, that's got to be the most ridiculous choosing beggar moment. Like, they've been offered a free alternative. They don't want the free alternative. They want the textbook. They want the book in their hands. That's just, I think if that had been, like, if I'd been the choosing beggar, I would have opted for the free ebook, honestly. But you can never really quite understand people, can you? Next. So this last one is a bonus story, and it's titled, Am I the Choosing Beggar? Ooh, judgment time. Okay, so I've been dying over this for months now. My husband and I had our wedding in August and mostly paid for it ourselves, so we wanted to keep the prices as reasonable as possible. The one thing I didn't really want to pinch pennies on was a photographer. Growing up, my family never took pictures of us, so I've always dreamed of having one effing bitchin' ass photo album, and have figured my one wedding would be it. For a great photographer in our area, we were looking at roughly 2 to 3k US dollars for 6 hours of full coverage and thousands of pictures. I was more than ready to sell my kidney to pay for that. I wanted my princess photos, and by God, I was going to have them. My husband's sister had recently started doing wedding photography and offered to do it for us as our wedding gift. My husband was eager since she wasn't bad at it, and it would be free. I was on the fence because, well, don't get stuff from families. I was eventually persuaded, and she did our pictures. Now, the day of the wedding. She takes a few pictures of me getting ready, then outside with the family, and alone with my husband and I. She left after our first dance, saying her kid was being fussy and they had to go. I was obviously unhappy. Reception had just started, but I figured we'd have plenty from the ceremony and before. We got married in August. This is important. And we didn't see pictures until Christmas, when she sheepishly gave us a flash drive with them, saying she was so sorry it took so long, but there were so many, yada yada. I was again unhappy, because in the meantime we had gone to other weddings, and those people had gotten all thousands of their pictures back in about a month. But whatever, I have my pictures now. We should be good. So I thought. When we opened the folder, there were only 70 pictures. 70 effing pictures! I could count on my fingers how many of those were of myself and my husband. I have one single picture of my family, 2 that have my maid of honour in them. My dudes, I was effing livid. I waited months to get back a floppy disk amount of pictures. I have been thinking about it ever since, and sometimes I wonder if I'm being ungrateful because they were free. But we did offer to pay her, and I was willing to shell out thousands for this one effing thing I have always dreamed of, and now I can't ever get it back. So am I being unreasonably choosy-beggy? Depends on your opinion, really. I mean, I'd say no. You're not really being a choosing beggar. You know, you weren't, it wasn't a case of somebody was offering to do it for free. You know, if somebody had offered, not as a wedding gift or anything like that, but offered to do it for free, then yes, I could understand you being a bit upset about it. But at the same time, 70 pictures. 70 pictures for a wedding photography. Now, I'm no wedding photographer, but I have dabbled in photography, and I'm pretty sure when it comes to weddings, there's opportunity to take more than 70 photographs. You know, maybe a couple of hundred photographs. I mean, I suppose you've got to take into account that, you know, hopefully friends and family had cameras and took some pictures, but at the same time, you know, it was offered to you as a wedding gift. So you're thinking, if it's being offered as a wedding gift, then that person's going to take it seriously, like how a professional photographer would take it seriously. Well, you'd hope. You know, you were prepared to pay thousands of dollars to have a professional photographer to come and do thousands of photographs. So not really. I mean, you weren't keen on the idea in the first place. You were persuaded. You didn't tell us how, but you were persuaded into letting your husband's sister do the photographs. So, in essence, no, you have every right to be upset, and you're not really being choosy-beggary. I mean, it took her 3 months? No, 4 months nearly, to get you photographs from your wedding back to you. The fact that there was only 70 suggests to me that she had been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because, you know, the lack of photographs says everything. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess the world of Reddit and now my YouTube channel can weigh in on this one. Do you think this woman is being a choosing beggar? Leave it in the comments below. Okay, so that's it for r/choosingbeggars. You know, please subscribe to my channel because, you know, it's free. and I need it more than you. So subscribe. But no, seriously, please like, subscribe, comment on this video. Give me some of your choosing beggar stories. I mean, I do like reading them. And, you know, I do have Twitter. It's in the box below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay smart.